Everyone who has millions started from zero, from this to that, from nothing to everything. As a divine healer, let me show you the blueprint to heal your deepest wounds, step into your destiny, and become the happiest person you know. My name is Steph Mahony, and welcome to your Million Dollar Life podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Million Dollar Life podcast, where I teach people how to heal, transform, and step into their highest purpose so that they can begin to live their $1 million life and become the happiest person they know. I'm your host, Steph Mahony, and today we're talking about the power of healing and how through spiritual healing, you can transform roadblocks into breakthroughs that will accelerate you in your life's path from this to that, from nothing to everything. Healing is the place of transmuting the darkness of the ego back into the light of the higher mind. It is transforming darkness into light. It's the darkness of suffering and brokenness that we secretly hold inside, and transmuting this and transforming it back into a place of light, which is happiness, inner peace, fulfillment, joy. We were meant to experience this all. All of this is abundance. Abundance is your birthright, and that is God's will for you. You're not meant to fix a broken world. You're meant to live a beautiful life. And that comes from transforming all of this darkness within us and bringing it back into the light. The moment we do this, our whole lifespan opens up. We're able to fulfill our purpose. We're in our mission of accomplishing what we've charted to do. We're feeling happiness, fulfillment. Yes, we're still being tested. Yes, there's still obstacles. Yes, there's still challenges. Yes, life is still imperfect. But you have this inner peace that no matter what happens, you're so strengthened in your aura that everything rolls right off of you. And you're full steam ahead of fulfilling what you've charted to do. So as a divine healer, I'm here to dive in and talk to you about the fastest way to transmute this darkness into light. And first of all, I want to talk about what am I even saying? Transmuting what? We're physical people. What does that even mean? Number two, how does that actually show up in our bodies? And number three, what can we do to fix this? So number one is energy. All of us are energy. We are a part of the quantum universe. The quantum universe is infinite, abundant. We came from the beautiful world of light, but our purpose of coming to Mother Earth was to experience it all for a higher purpose, to learn, grow, and expand. Because our brain only learns and grows through obstacles and challenges. And that's what our soul wants to acquire here by having all of this infinite knowledge within us, but coming into a dark world and being able to use our power of free choice and free will to transmute it step by step by step. So when we come here into Mother Earth, we're all experiencing energy and we're all vibrating at different energetic points. And this is going to be something I'll talk about another time, but very generally at this point, the energy that we live in is what we attract into our life. So like the law of attraction says, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So it's not how happy you smile to the outside world. It's not perceived happiness. It's authentic happiness that you attract back to you. So if you're showing the world a happy smile, but inside you're broken and crumbling and fearful, that is your true authentic energy, which is what the universe will actually attract back to you through various people, situations, circumstances that keep you feeling stuck in this lower energy. It's only until you can place awareness on it and heal it that cycling pattern will stop. And you know that you've learned a lesson when you can look back at that version of you, looking back at a memory, and it no longer causes pain. You have acquired this wisdom where you see what it's been trying to teach you. You've risen above it, and now you can look at it from a place of perspective and knowledge and be able to then move forward. So the energy that we are at different levels. Lower energy is manifested through depression, through anxiety, through imposter syndrome, through suffering, and is a very low vibration. It's very magnetic because we tend to hold on to fearful memories the most, because we always attract what you fear, right? The one thing you don't want, you keep thinking about it all the time. Whatever you think about grows and it comes to you faster with your intense focus. So you always attract it back to your life. And that's why it's so important to heal before you manifest, because this is the energy that you're going to keep attracting. So this is the low frequency of what I, as a divine healer, heal from people's mind, body, and soul and spirit, versus the accomplished goal, which is up here, which is happiness, peace, fulfillment. This is God's will for us. It doesn't matter where you started. We're all meant to be up here. This is your $1 million life. This is the life and the frequency of where you should be living. And this is what I help you to get from here to up here fast through healing and acceleration. So it's not a spiritual bypass. It's not that your problems will go away. You will still have everything here. But you will have then the courage to face it, the higher awareness. You're going to have this desire to push through, pull. And the things that you never thought would be possible suddenly are. The courage you never had suddenly is there. So suddenly you are releasing these chains that were holding you back and forging forward. So you always have to face it. You have to walk through that fire, but you'll not smell like smoke. And you'll go through this ascension process faster because you're in an energy of a healed spirit. So we're talking about energy, and we're transforming the darkness within us into the light. When I'm talking about the physical body, we're all physical human beings. But because we're all energy, this energy that I talk about actually manifests in our body through different areas. The energy that comes through us comes through our chakras. So in our physical body, we have 7 chakras. And this is something I want to talk to you about today, because it will help to place a higher sense of awareness for you, that wherever the pain you are experiencing, you can actually feel and sense where it could be once you know what this is. So all of our chakras are tied to organs in our body. There's 7 chakras. So with me today, I have a very special guest joining me, and her name is Evangeline. Evangeline is my light being that, as a Reiki master, I use to help heal people all around the world. Because if I'm not physically in front of them, that's okay, because in the quantum universe, being energy, there is no such thing as time or space. All of this is an illusion. So I can energetically heal people across the other side of the world, but I use this light being as my focus to feel in touch, because I'm still a human being. So I'm going to demonstrate what this healing looks like through my beautiful Evangeline, who has 7 chakras in front of her, as you'll notice. So we're going to go through these chakras. I'm going to tell you what they are, what it looks like when the chakra is blocked, and what it looks like and should feel like when the chakra is open and balanced. So as a divine healer, I have people coming into my home or doing this remotely all the time. They have no idea what chakras are. So if you're a little confused by this place of chakras, this is my intention is to just educate you about this. But if you are open to receiving a healing session and you know that this is something you might need for yourself, just accept this as a place of education to empower you of what this is and what this could look like for you. So in this place of healing, I'm going to introduce Evangeline, and we're going to go through chakra by chakra, and starting with her first one right up here. This chakra is the crown, and then we have our third eye. Here is our throat chakra, our heart chakra, our solar plexus, our sacral, and this is our root chakra. So there are actually more chakras above us and below us energetically, but what we're going to talk about today is the 7 chakras that manifest in our body. So because we're all energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one thing to another. This is the law of thermodynamics that we have learned about in grade 9. And the same is true for our human body. So when we're thinking about something, that's a form of energy. If the energy is light and positive, it's manifesting in happiness and joy. When that energy is worried and anxious and nervous and fight or flight mode, that energy actually gets trapped within us. It paralyzes us. We don't know how to move forward. We kind of feel like we're falling off of a building and we don't know how we're going to stop. So it's this energy, and if it's not released, what happens is that it circulates in our body and it has nowhere to go. So if we don't heal this, what happens is that this stuck energy will manifest itself actually into illness. It is going to manifest itself into different parts of your body that keep you feeling stuck. So we're not going to talk about illness today, but we are going to talk about what that looks like when energy is stuck through the perspective of your chakras, because this is the place that most of us get the biggest release because we're so stuck in these areas. So the first place, what we're going to look at through Evangeline is her crown chakra. So the crown chakra right there is your crown. It's the top of your head. This is your higher place of consciousness. This is wisdom. This is the part of you that's connected to divinity. When you're open and aligned, you have knowledge flowing easily to you. You understand things make sense. You have a clear direction in your life. You're going for it with confidence. And if you feel like it's blocked, it would show up as a manifestation where you are uncertain, you're unclear, the world looks very dark, it's very blurry, you're not really sure what to do, it's very hard to make decisions. So this is usually the form of ego attachments. We're attached to something in our ego that is keeping us paralyzed from moving forward. So if we are in our mind, in our physical body, we're very scared. Life is very dark, and we just don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. This is the part that ruminates over and over and over again in our mind. And whatever we focus on grows. So more of that energy, if I just don't know what to do, uncertainty keeps coming back and patterning itself to confirm you don't know what to do. Because here's the thing. The universe always says yes. God always says yes. We're coming here to live a human experience and learn and grow and overcome challenges. And that's through using our free will choices. So whatever we believe to be true at that moment and whatever we desire as the creators of our universe, our wish is our command and we will receive it. So if we're saying, I don't know what to do, the universe will say, okay, I don't know what to do. And it will repattern itself right back to us. Because anything you say after I am, it means God is. It comes back to you as a command and you will continue to relive this. So when we're talking about our chakra and our crown chakra, If you're feeling stuck in darkness and you're having a hard time making decisions, it could be that your chakra is blocked. And as a divine healer using Reiki or Holy Light Intuitive Energetic Healing, I can place my hand above your chakra. And what happens is that the energy comes and it, by just placing it, all of this white light, if you can imagine, comes through my crown over my hand, and it's pouring white light into this. So if you can imagine a spinning ball, this is what it looks like. Our energy centers, our chakras are always spinning. Sometimes it's tangled, sometimes it's going in the wrong direction, but it's always spinning. If it's going in the wrong direction, you're misaligned. If it's tangled up, you're just like blocked. It's like a hardened block of like darkness. But with this white light, it just takes that darkness and slowly transforms it back into light, where it becomes transparent and it untangles and it goes back into the light. So suddenly your chakras are in this beautiful moving pattern. It's always clockwise. It's going clockwise beautifully. It means you're open and expanded. You're very high cosmic energy, high awareness to divinity, and you receive higher level thoughts that feel good and happy, aligned with certainty. This is your crown. The next on your list is your third eye chakra. So third eye chakras, some people are like, is that even really a thing? I'm here to tell you it's a thing. So your third eye chakra is actually about 20 degrees in the middle of your forehead. It's your pineal gland. And this is your inner knowing. So your crown, is actually your brain, right? It's your mind. You have a lower mind and a higher mind. Your lower mind is your ego. The higher mind is your higher mind of divinity and consciousness, the Holy Spirit, right? Your third eye is your pineal gland, and this is your inner vision. So when your pineal gland is blocked, you see the world through this place of illusion. You see things that may look true for you, but because you have a distorted vision, kind of like dirt on your lens, you see things through a different perspective, which are actually not real. But whatever you believe to be true will always show up as real for you. So you'll keep the world will repattern itself, and you'll be living in this lie, I guess, of illusion. You believe it's true, but it's actually not. But when you can clean it off, you start to see the world through a different perspective. You have an inner clarity, an inner knowing, and you see a higher level perspective. And this is the insight, divine insight, where you can actually see things as truth, and you'll be able to cut through BS, for example, and you'll know what truth is, and you can target. It's like a BS lie detector. You have this inner vision, inner knowing, and the sharper it is, the more focus you put on clearing it, the sharper and faster the arrow goes to what it is you're looking for. So you'll know who you are, where you're going, everything that's standing in your way. That illusion will actually be brought to the light, where you actually see what it is that you thought was real, but it's not. And then it allows you to make better choices. This is your third eye. Same thing as a divine healer, the energy comes through my crown, through my hand, and by me spinning it, just placing it over your third eye, it opens, aligns, and heals your chakra. So it transforms illusion into insight, to the truth of insight of what it is, the perception you're seeing. The next on your list is your throat chakra. It is blue. All of these energy centers are not just these are not just buttons with different colors. All of these are actually energetically. Your crown chakra is purple. This is like a dark purpley black. This is blue, and we're going to start here. So this is your throat chakra. Blue is the color of your throat chakra. This is a big one for so many people where we don't speak our truth. We have this place in society where we all want to blend in with each other so we can feel loved and accepted and conformed to what society believes we should be. Or sometimes we're living somebody else's dream for us. We're really unhappy, but we want to make our parents happy by going and doing a profession that we actually hate. We are trying to be the perfect wife, but really we're so happy and unbroken in this marriage. And we know that was the wrong choice to be part of this. We are living a lie, and whatever we're speaking in our throat chakra, that we're not speaking our highest truth, coming back to us and paralyzing us and really anchors us into living a life that we don't want to live. You'll know that you're in alignment when you're unhappy. When you are happy, you are aligned. When you're unhappy, you're simply out of alignment. So if you could tell that you're not speaking your highest truth, that is a sign to you that you're not living in alignment. Because when you can speak your highest truth, that then means you can live your highest truth. So most of the clients that I see have a blocked chakra. And I always hold a pendulum over just to kind of see what I'm working with. And it never moves. Or sometimes it moves in the wrong direction. And that means it's like they're living a lie. Everything they say, and maybe it's like they've programmed themselves to see the world this way, but everything they're saying is a lie. I perceive myself to be really happy. I'm so happy. My life is amazing. Look at my beautiful children. Look at Instagram. But meanwhile, we're so broken inside, right? This toxic positivity sometimes that people are facing where we pretend to be happy to the world, but we're broken inside. When we're not living our highest truth, it comes to the form of through our throat chakra. Our throat chakra is the connection from divinity. It begins with our thoughts and it transforms to our voice, which then speaks commands to the universe. That's how powerful your voice is. So every single word that you say is a spell that you cast into the universe. And abracadabra in the Arabic language actually translates to I create as I speak. You're creating your life with every word that you're speaking. And the emotions that you tie into it are attracting it with the propel of momentum. So whatever you speak after I am, as I mentioned to you before, comes out to the universe as a command. So even if you are speaking your highest truth, which is, I am so worried, I am so unhappy, I am so hating the way my life is turning out to be, I'm feeling so stuck. And when we're saying these words, yes, it's important to release it. It's important to face it. It's important to find that acceptance. But if we just stay there and we're just complaining, and by telling this now to 20 other people, it becomes a place of victimhood where we're actually getting even stuck and anchored and not moving. It's like we're choosing to be here because suddenly this is part of our story. We're not willing yet to rewrite it. So when we're able to open, heal your throat chakra, we're then taking away all of these lies and putting you into alignment to speak your highest truth, to live your highest truth. You're meant to speak out what it is that you wish to experience. And when you're able to speak your highest truth, which is what God's will for you is, that is what you're going to begin to manifest into your life. It's not about describing your circumstances. It's about speaking what it is that you truly desire, and it'll reflect and manifest back to you. If you are feeling stuck and worried, release that by journaling. Yes, talk to a trusted friend, your partner, take something out of you that's really anchoring. But I have this 80-20 rule where, spend 20% of your time releasing it and then pivot and replace it and use the next 80% of your time by talking about solutions, talking about higher level perspectives, talking about what is possible, talking about life speaking words that encourage you and lift you up, that are inspiring. And if you don't have the voice for it yet, then listen to somebody who does, that perhaps that's a person who has a positive podcast, YouTube channel, TV show, somebody, or maybe it's like inspirational music that's life giving, not life taking away from you. You'll know that it's good because you're feeling inspired by it, not feeling lowered by it. So we'll talk a lot more about this in terms of the news. Like everything has a frequency, right? But in terms of your throat chakra, this is such a big one because this is how you play God in the world, because whatever comes through your mind, you have the choice if you want to speak it out. So if your mind is telling you, I'm depressed, you can actually choose what comes out of here. Like, I used to feel really depressed in these situations, but I'm so happy and grateful now that I know that there's a better pathway. And I'm so excited that these solutions that I'm going to manifest into my life are going to take me into this new direction. It's rewriting what your circumstances look like, the reality of your circumstances, and rewriting it into the future that you truly desire and want to manifest into your life. That's the power that you have with your throat chakra. So when it's blocked, like it is for most people, you're going to be feeling this empowerment because all of a sudden you have the ability to speak truth, which is your higher truth. It begins by hearing your inner voice and then giving you the power to speak your highest truth so that you can then live your highest life. This is your throat chakra. The next on your list is your heart chakra, which is a close second of what needs to be healed for most of us. Like I teach my kids, your love is where your love lives in your heart. The most beautiful thing about you is your heart, because that's where your love lives. And if we've gone through a lot of hard times, it could be that our heart is literally broken in pieces. And that's what causes us to feel lower vibrational pain and grief and sadness and brokenness. And that's what causes trust issues, right? It all comes within our heart. So when your heart chakra is blocked, you are in this place of grief and sadness and brokenness. And you become very skeptical of other people who show you love because you are so protective of your heart that you don't want anyone else to hurt it. So you become very hardened to the world. So when people do show you love and kindness, you're very skeptical to it and you block them away. Even though that's the thing you want, your heart is blocked from attracting what it is you truly desire because it's scared of being even more hurt. That is your ego trying to protect you. But when we're able to heal the heart chakra and open and align it, then all of a sudden you open this portal for love to flow in. You're restructuring this place of sadness and grief where it feels expansive, and healing feels happiness. It feels like inner peace, where you would suddenly feel skeptical about someone showing love. Then suddenly you have this heightened perspective. It all works together. And you start to see things, start to take a chance on love again. But it begins with self-love. It begins with seeing you as worthy of love, that you are an amazing person, that you are worthy to experience a beautiful life. And when you have a cup that is not overflowing, that is empty, it begins with pouring that yourself, by healing yourself from within, by getting out of bed, by taking a shower, by putting on something that feels really beautiful for you, by going for a walk, shifting your environment, shifting the stuff that you listen to, pouring love into you, by making choices that feel happy on a moment by moment by moment basis. So when you have an open and healed chakra, your heart chakra, then suddenly the world feels warmer and fuzzier. Everything comes through perspective. You could see the world as a very cruel place, or you can see it as a place that's loving, that is nurturing, that's so kind. And all of a sudden you have kind people always showing you kindness and happiness and doing beautiful things for you. So whatever we feel in our heart chakra actually scientifically radiates to this whole world around us. It takes such a huge mass. And that's why people, when they feel your energy, it all pours out from your heart. Your heart is full of love. And for many of us, it's one of these places that if you didn't grow up receiving love, it is very hard for you to give love because you don't know how to do that. For those who grew up with love, it's very easy and free to give. And what I've learned through this place in the heart chakra, we hear this term hurt people, but healed people also heal people. A person with love in their heart is incapable of intentionally inflicting pain on another person because they have so much love in their heart. They couldn't imagine causing any pain for a person. But a person who doesn't have love in their heart, it's very easy to shut them down, to be cross, to manipulate, to lie, to cheat, to steal, because they're very hardened. There's something that in them, knowingly or unknowingly, that they need to heal. Just as a person, for example, who doesn't have any love in their heart and hates dogs, it'd be very easy for them to hurt a dog if they hate a dog. But a person who has love in their heart for a dog or an animal couldn't imagine showing anything but love for this animal. This is all of how we feel shifts and changes our reaction based on our vision of how we see the world. So this is so important to heal. The moment that you can take this hardness, this shell that's encapsulating your heart, and heal it, that is when you begin to feel the warmth and the love, and the world seems so warm and fuzzy and kind and beautiful. And that starts reflecting into beautiful experiences coming to you. This changes everything. It's your heart chakra. So when it's blocked, it feels like grief. When it's open, it feels like love. It feels like a warm hug. So your heart chakra is green. The next on your list is your solar plexus. This is two fingers above your belly button. It's around where your stomach is. And this is like your gut feeling. This is your inner power. This is your willpower. This is your I am presence. This is the part of you that is actually connected to your higher self, like an invisible umbilical cord. So you have a higher self that is always with you, and it's the part of you that's been through all of your lifetimes. It's the divine aspect of you that is experiencing this lifetime as you, as Steph Mahony, as my avatar in physical form as Steph Mahony, because Steph Mahony came here to heal and shift and transform and to fulfill a purpose that only Steph Mahony could do. And this umbilical cord is actually attached to your solar plexus. This is my I am presence. This is your I am presence that comes from the higher place. And it's where you have this gut feeling, this gut knowing of what to do, what not to do, because your inner knowing always knows the truth. When you feel something is off, it is. It's your higher self showing you that it is. And you always, always trust that. So when your solar plexus is blocked, what happens is that you feel out of alignment. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you're doing. You feel the sense of shame in yourself. And when you are able to open, heal, and align it, you have this direct power. You step into your power. You step into your purpose. You may feel fear, but you're doing it anyway. You have this courage. You realize that you don't have to be a victim. You can actually rise up, transform, and step into another version of yourself and become the creator of your destiny by choosing to go for it all. You step into this place of empowerment that is able to override the shame that you might have felt in this place when life wasn't going well. So you made choices at that time that you didn't feel in alignment with, and now you feel this guilt and you feel it in your stomach. It's that gut-wrenching feeling of shame that keeps you stuck. So when you're able to open, heal, and align your solar plexus, this is when the world opens up again to you, where you feel like, I got this. Like, I'm just going to go for it. Even if I fail, even if I crash and burn, like, I am going to try and I'm going to go for it all. Like, this is the power that just lights you up. This is your inner flame that lights up the moment you say yes to at least taking one tiny baby step of action to move forward into the place that you know is meant for you. The next, so this is kind of like this yellowy color. The next on your list is your solar plexus and that's your solar plexus. Next on your list is your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is actually connected to your desires, your creativity. It's your sexual desires as well, your sexual feelings, because it's all around your reproductive areas for men and women. And this is really, really important because it allows you to enjoy life. It allows you to have the pleasure to enjoy life. When you don't enjoy life, you're blocked and you don't have an interest. You don't have a passion. You don't have anything that lights you up. You're always feeling like you're in this energy of guilt. You feel like you're in this energy of blandness. Everything's gray. You don't know, like, life is so boring, you know? You end up taking your time that you could be using to creating and expanding and growing, and you're just mind numbing yourself to find something of interest, and you find an outlet to fulfill that, whether it's Netflix binging all the time, every night, whether it's drinking, whether it's, and it's not from a place of judgment, right? Like, everybody has different places of outlets, but when you become very numb into this world and there's nothing that lights you up, your inner self is desiring something. So it's desiring some form of outlet. And your higher self also knows that these outlets are maybe not the right thing for you, which is why you feel the guilt. So when you can take that energy of guilt and heal, transform, and align it, what you actually end up receiving is pleasure. It's this place of happiness when you receive such pleasure and fulfillment of doing things that light you up. It's enjoying this place of creativity. We're all creative. We are all creative beings, which is expansive forever. We're infinite creators. We're always expanding. And we get to choose our desire of what we wish to create. Some of us are magnificent painters. Some of us are magnificent storytellers. Some of us are magnificent architects or business builders, but we're always creating something. And when we don't have that creative outlet and we are suppressing that, or we're not living out our dream that's meant for us and we're doing something else, which is block that away, and we're holding it in and we hate our job and we feel so unfulfilled, it's because we're not in alignment of what we're supposed to be doing, right? So the moment you can open that part up for you, you're like, wow, like you start to like feel magnetized to where you're supposed to go, because the universe will always bring everything that you need back to you. The moment it's open up, you become in alignment to it. So you'll start to see things that you might have walked by and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, that was really amazing. Like, I can't even believe this. So it was a very quick example, I always had this belief in me that I'm too busy. I'm a mom. I work full time, doing, I'm also building a business simultaneously. I have too much stuff on my plate. I have no time to exercise. I had this belief system. I really tried in the beginning of the year. It crashed and failed. I'm like, ugh. But I kept feeling this thought of like wanting to do it. I'm like, no, I just have no desire. I don't want to do it by myself. Like, I just kept thinking the only place to exercise was alone in myself in my home. And I began to heal this part of myself because I saw that it was becoming a bit of a reoccurring thought pattern. And what happened is that my expansionness and my consciousness began opening up. And I noticed that right by my house, there's a fitness studio that has always been there that I never saw. And suddenly I noticed that. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And then another day I saw a woman holding a yoga mat walking into that fitness studio. And I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. People are actually going in there. And that opened up this mindset of me wanting to just check it out. So I went on their website and I just wanted to see what this was. And when I went to the classes and I saw what this was, suddenly like my sacral chakra was just so expansive, it was lighting up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. Like, they have yoga, they have Pilates, they have this like intensity cardio training and strength training. Like, I've been hating all this weight on my arms that I gained. Like, look, it can actually help that. So instead of me ruminating on all of me being too busy and grumpy and having no time, I looked at their time slots. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, they actually have classes before I start work, which means I can drop off my baby, which is right next door, and then I can go into a class and be done right before my workday starts. Like, how cool is that? So then I signed up. I encouraged my mom to come, and it was like she was already feeling that too. And it was like a hell yes. So then, I felt like there was this overnight success where both of us are now following the pleasure and alignment of what it is that we had. Like, we just wanted to do something for ourselves, and it's lighting us up. And I know that I'm in alignment because I'm so happy doing this. I feel so fulfilled. And all of those excuses I looked at is like that part of me that just needed to be healed. Like, I was just having this grumpy experience of victimhood. And now, when I didn't see any time, I actually look at all this abundance of time. And I'm like, wow, I can even do classes at night after my baby goes to sleep. Like, look, how cool is this, And now that I'm in the energy of like, how cool is this? I keep seeing more and more opportunities that reconfirm how cool is this? Like, how amazing this is all lining up. So, yes, I heal people through Reiki and through energetic healing, but you can do this yourself when you just place awareness on the areas of your life that keep you stuck. And then suddenly you're opening a place of consciousness. And the moment that you see one thing and you accept it, you'll see something else, and it'll grow and grow and grow, just as this example did for me starting to work out. So I'm not at the finish line, obviously. I just started this actually week 2, but I'm so happy. That's how I know I'm my North Star. Like, I've been wanting to do this for so long. I never saw a solution until I was like sick of being sick of it. And then I'm like, oh, And then I had to really shift that part of myself internally, right? So this is part of the sacral, right? I transformed my guilt of not working out and feeling really grumpy and guilty and a victim about it, of, poor me, poor me. And now I feel so happy. I'm like living this place of happiness, creativity, and pleasure. And it's making me honestly just light up. And that's just bubbling up into the world around me, which is amazing. So the last one is fear. Oh my goodness. I know I said really all of these are so important, but fear is such a huge paramount in our life because we attract what we fear. If you notice, the one thing that you want to avoid will always come and boomerang fastest to you because you're magnetic to it. This place in your chakra system is on the lower part of your body, like your very lower back type area. And it is where fear lives. Your root chakra, when it's closed, feels like you're falling off of a 20-foot building. You're so scared. You have no idea when it's going to end. You're in fight or flight mode. You're making decisions that are irrational. You are so scared that you are just playing small, keeping your mouth quiet. You're not speaking your truth. Like you're just conforming, blending in, like you have no idea. And you're just so scared, so scared. And although it is a very real feeling, this is simply an illusion because anything that's real is infinite. But fear can be transformed. And once you're able to open, align, and heal the chakra, then suddenly that fear of you falling down this building stops and you finally feel grounded, even for a moment. You take a deep breath, and then all of a sudden you're starting to feel stability and you're starting to feel peace and you're starting to see the world through a level-headed mind. And you're starting to see and make choices that are more rational than this place of fight or flight of, oh my gosh, just get it. Like you're just scared. You're making empowered, confident, wise decisions. So it's transforming fear that is survival mode into this place of peace. And that is what this transformation is. So what we're meant to do here in this world is transform the lower parts of us to the higher parts of us. We will never, ever remove this from us. We love this part of us. It's just the parts of us that need to be healed. It's the parts of us that we're transforming from a lower part into a higher part. Both parts are us. It's the yin and yang. The darkness and the light is both of us. That is why we're here. So while we want to magnify the great parts of us that are healed, we are simply healing the lower parts of us that just need a little bit more love. And the more love, the more attention of love that you can place on these parts of you from this place of non-judgment, from this place of healing, then you're able to shift, transform, propel yourself into this higher place. And something you've truly healed from yourself is healed from your soul. You may experience moments where you get triggered. You may experience testing that brings these parts out of you, but your response will be different. Your response to how you would normally react, perhaps in fight or flight, will now be placed from a mature, calm, grounded perspective where you're like, no, like I'm not going to just do this out of fear. I'm going to choose to look at it. I see you, but now I'm going to respond this way. And for me, for example, many, many years ago when I was just newly married, I always had, mind you, I had come out of this really toxic relationship. I had control problems, because I was so controlled that if anybody was then triggering, like taking away my control, I was being triggered by this. And it got me so angry where I would see like white spots. And I would see this and, somebody over the phone on from my, the moving truck that didn't deliver furniture on time. I would get so mad at them. I would yell. And my husband was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Because I'm like this sweet person, but it was this part of me that was so unhealed. And I transformed that slowly and slowly and slowly because I saw how patient he would be when he was in the exact same situation. I would look at that. I was like, wow, I don't have to be this way anymore. I can actually choose to be somebody else. So when that situation would happen through a different person or through a different circumstance, instead of me going back to my very spiky, reactive ego, where I'd be barking, I would take a deep breath. And even though I felt that like spikiness inside that just wanted to come on, fight, I would be talking from this place of kindness. That's all it was. I was showing patience too. And at first it was so hard. And then I realized that I was successful in it. And then it would come back again. And this time it'd be a little bit easier. And it would come back again. And I'd still be showing kindness and love and respect. And it was actually easier to eventually, my normal reactive system is to show kindness. So yes, I'm not perfect. Yes, sometimes my children drive me like crazy, but they don't listen to 20 at a time. So these parts of me come really. So I'm not perfect. It's a journey, but I see how much growth I've had in this area by simply changing my response system. And now that I'm a parent and I sometimes get triggered when things are outside of my control, I place awareness on it so I can see myself reacting this way. And then I apologize. I'm like, hey guys, you know what? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be saying this, or I apologize for what I said yesterday. This is where I was coming from. Like, please forgive me, like this is my objective. Please help me understand. Like, if I need this, like, what could we do together? And then we'll have a conversation where we're all on the same page. So then they'll be on side and like, what can you guys do to make sure that we do this? And then I'll give them accountability and they'll know, you know what I mean? Like, we're having this mutual respect. So this is totally outside of chakras, but ultimately what you need to know is that we're all darkness and light. And that's exactly how we were structured to be. Both of us are beautiful. Both of us are perfectly designed for what we're meant to do, except that one part of us just needs to have a little bit more love. It just needs a little bit more healing. And we can do this through self-love. We can do this by changing our response system. We can do this through our life. Or if you're not sure, or if you want to accelerate this process, you can also work with a spiritual healer, an energetic healer, who can take the spiky energy that's like trapped within you and then neutralize it. These are the calm waters Jesus used to talk about. It's the place of ground zero. When you're calm, you become a magnet to attract everything it is that you desire in your world. And what you desire is abundance in every form. And that's what comes to you. So all of these chakras are in you. They're in me. They're not perfect and open and propelling 100% of the time. And they're not supposed to. We're not supposed to be vibrating 100% of the time, all the time, because that wouldn't make us a human being anymore. We wouldn't have a human body by that point. We would all be just light. We're meant to experience all of these, so never feel guilt. It's just having this place of awareness that, oh my gosh, you know what? There's a part of me, I think I just need to place a little bit more love within, place awareness. What is this trying to teach me? within myself that I can heal and transform, so I can rise above it, that I can walk through the fire and smell like a smoke, that I'm not that green, scary monster of the ego, that I'm actually still a nice person after the conversation's done. That is our power. Life is always going to present to us in the form of choices. And we, through our free will, get to choose how we respond. Is it through the green, scary monster of the ego? Is it through love and kindness and patience? That is what our choice is. So when we have chakras that are opened, healthy, they're aligned, they allow us to make those choices with ease, flow, grace. We begin to attract a higher level energy into our life that puts us into alignment, that propels us to this next level and shoots us up to where we need to go, which is our North Star, our destiny. We are all here to fulfill our destiny. And my job as a divine healer, channel, and the founder of Your $1 Million Life is to show you the pathway, the blueprint of how you too can shift and transform your life to become the happiest person you know and live the highest timeline of your charted destiny. If this is something that you have interest in, I would encourage you to check out my website, www.stephmahony.com. Take a look at the blueprint to Your $1 Million Life, which includes a deep dive to astrology to identify what those glass ceilings are, what these inner wounds are that are keeping you stuck from your past lives. We identify it by name, and then through divine healing, we actually heal it from your energetic matrix. So that way you can, kind of like a cobweb, we remove it from you so you could step into the 2.0 version of yourself and then get into alignment for you to fulfill the highest timeline of your destiny. So everyone, thank you for joining me today. From my heart to yours, I wish you a beautiful day ahead, filled with happiness, peace, and love. Namaste. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you are ready to heal your deepest wounds and manifest your greatest life, I welcome you to explore the blueprint to Your $1 Million Life, a divinely channeled program that is creating miracles for people all over the world. Visit www.stephmahony.com.